everybody. Welcome to the first official day of the Spirit of Innovation Challenge 2014 Innovation Summit. Welcome students and teachers and all of our special guests, our parents, the people who help make this possible, all of our challenge partners, our corporate sponsors, our champion partners. With each and every one of you, today is made possible. This morning, we are beginning with a presentation of a product created by our 2012 Clean Energy Champions. It is from Gulliver Schools in Miami, Florida. Their product is now in its next generation of development. They have passed the torch on to the next group of students. They are actually doing a rather unique project process with their product. They are doing further research and development, and their product leaders is now in operation in Nigeria and preparing for further expansion to areas around the world hard hit by natural disasters and economic shortfalls. What they have learned as they have advanced through their R&D and delivery phases will provide great lessons learned for all of you as you are going through the next phases of your product development. Please welcome to the stage our 2013 Nancy Conrad Innovative Teacher of the Year, Claude Sharon, and the students of Gulliver Schools, Joyce, Maria, William, Nicholas, Max, and Philip. Everyone.
Good morning. I know we're going to have to fight the acoustics a little bit here. Can everybody hear me in the back? Guys, can you hear me?
Check.
Okay, well, good morning. We're very privileged to be here. Again, my name is Mr. Claude Sharon, and I was here exactly where many of you guys were a couple of years ago. We've been able to have several teams here, and we have two reasons for being here today. We're only here today and we really want to share. This is not about, oh, look at us and what we did. This is about, hey, look, this might be a direction teams might want to go. If you acquire the seed money in the next couple of days, you have a big decision, a big responsibility. This is one possible path that you might take. I'm an engineering teacher and department chair in Miami, Florida, and we're involved with several projects every year. We've had about 7 patent pendings, and that's great, but what do you do in the next step? What do you do when you graduate? What happens to the project? Have you thought about that? Are you going to continue it? Do you have juniors and sophomores in mind? So there's several different routes. This isn't the correct route. This is one route. And I want to make it very clear. We are not trying to preach or tell you what to do. We're just showing you a direction, okay? Sorry about the noise in the back. Okay, I think I'll end in a few seconds here. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually show you a presentation. The kids are going to go and show this. This is not in any way polished or formal. This is a tool to explain what we've been able to do. On that table, there is going to be information. There's going to be business cards, PDFs, and information if you want to know more about this. There is an amazing workshop that's going to happen after, so we're not going to have a transition to C3. I've been working really hard, and we don't want to interfere with what they're doing. So if you do want to know more information, we might not have a lot of time at the end to really ask questions, but we do have the cards and so on and so forth, okay? So at this time, what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce Max, who will start the presentation of what we consider GROW, and GROW is our school, Gulliver Reaching Out Worldwide, helping developing countries with their need. The last 2 years, we've been able to acquire the seed money, and we wanted to share our experience and our journey. And before I hand it over to Max, I want to thank so much the Conrad Foundation, not just for here, but the whole journey. Where you are right now is a process. This is not the end destination. This is not even the middle if you continue with it. And I can go on and on about how special this has been for me, but you're going to hear it from the students and some of the accolades and the opportunities, mainly because of the Conrad Foundation. So again, let's give a round of applause to everyone that's made this day possible. Okay, thank you, and we'll get the show started. Max.
So in 2012, we entered the device leaders into the Conrad Spirit Innovation Challenge, where we won the Clean Energy and Environment category. The Conrad Foundation provided us with many opportunities from there. The team was invited to Rio de Janeiro, where we presented the device at a Youth Sustainability Challenge. We then entered it from that challenge into a White House competition, where Alexis Wong, a representative of the team, was invited to the White House to present the project. Then we were awarded by the Haitian dignitaries the Heart of Haiti Award. All this stemmed from opportunities from the Conrad Foundation. So you're going to hear me refer to Operation Gulliver International. Well, Operation Gulliver International is the former name for GROW, and that was the team name when they entered the Conrad Spirit of Innovation Challenge. So 1 in 8 people from around the world don't have access to clean water, and a child dies of a water-related illness every 21 seconds. For our case study, we chose Haiti. Why Haiti? Well, Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, and 53% of the people in Haiti did not have access to clean water at that time. In 2009, this water system right here was sent to Haiti. It used solar panels and a different filtration system to clean the water. However, it had many problems. It was fragile, complex, and expensive. So the team went back to the drawing board. We wanted to create a new project that filtered the water using mechanical energy, that was durable, portable, and easy to use. So that was this device right here, Leaders. This is the model of Leaders that was presented at the 2012 Conrad Spirit Innovation Challenge. However, we couldn't just send a device to another country without testing the water to make sure it was effectively clean. So what we did is we took the different types of bacteria and viruses that are currently present in the water in Haiti, our case study, and put them into the water and ran it through our system. We conducted spectrometer tests, enterotube tests, and coliform tests, and it all showed that our system did effectively clean the water. We then wanted to get some numbers in order to show how much it cleaned our water. And the numbers showed that our water was much cleaner than the standard for clean water in the United States. So all the work that you're about to see came after the Conrad Spirit Innovation Challenge. We're going to show you how we use the seed money to further progress our product and get it to the end user. To talk more about this, here's Joyce Chen.
Okay, the Spirit of Innovation Challenge really opened up the doors to this project. We furthered on the engineering process into one of the most important stages of the process, being the actual implementation of the device. Thanks to Sarah, a freshman at our school, and her family, we were able to get a device to Nigeria, a village in Nigeria. Her father, Alex Cobo, he's an engineer, and he helped us gather the specifications of the device that will fit the village's needs. The device actually is currently situated in their local clinic. So many people go to that clinic from neighboring villages to get clean water. And after using the device for a period of time, the village and Alex Coble kindly gave us the feedback of the device in order to improve upon the original design of the water filtration device. First of all, there were some issues. The shipping, fortunately, in this specific case, Alex Coble was able to personally get the device to Nigeria. But we have to figure out and devise a way to ship it to other countries as well. Next, the actual construction of the device with an engineer on site took approximately 2 hours because of how many parts there were in the device. Third, the cart, it didn't withstand the harsh environment of Nigeria. And lastly, the tank, which held the water, it was a perfect environment for algae. And now to Philip, who will explain how we improved our device.
Thanks to Alex Kobo's feedback from the village in Nigeria, we were able to come up with a set of objectives to improve the device. I'm going to show you a video with how the device works. In order to use the system, the user must draw water into the system by using the pump. Once they've done so, the water passes through 3 sediment filters, which filter out large particulates from the water. The water then passes through a silver-plated nanoceramic filter, which removes 99.9% of the bacteria from the water. After it's passed through all 4 filters, the water enters the distribution system. The user can either choose to put the water into a tank to be stored for later use, or they can redirect the water out through a outtake hose to be used immediately. All of these changes allowed us to fit the device into this box. The design features a collapsible cart which fits into a much smaller space. We designed a frame for the filters which allows it to act as a standalone item with no need for the cart. We have connected all 4 filters with metal components which are much stronger. The water tank that we've chosen to use is smaller and more effective to use in developing nations. And it can all be carried around in just this cart. And now to Nick with qualifications for countries receiving this device.
In order to find the best fit for our system, we developed a 5-question information sheet that helped us narrow down our target market. Being a high school, our resources are very limited, and so we wanted to make sure that the candidates that we were selecting as contacts were as serious about this project as we were. So these questions helped us figure out if they had the time and willpower to learn how the system worked and educate others on how the system, And now to Maria with the location.
Before I talk about how we were able to reach out, I wanted to tell you a little bit about how I became involved with the project. So my brother was a senior last year, and he was part of the project. He was a member. And he wanted me to become involved with it. So I knew nothing about it, and he basically told me how it worked, and he told me that a system had been sent to Nigeria and to Haiti. So of course I became involved, but I never knew how much a project could evolve in just 1 year. But with all the changes that we've been able to make, we've been able to reach out to a lot more countries. We've actually even been able to customize each device to meet the specifications of each location. We've gone from sending 1 system to Haiti to actually working with 5 different countries. We've worked with Haiti, Nigeria, the Philippines, Argentina, and Congo. And after we sent our first system to Haiti, a lot of people have been asking for our device, but ultimately we can't send a device to everyone. So with what Nick just presented, we found a way to basically limit and find possible candidates. So now to William to talk about our next steps.
After the Spirit of Innovation Challenge 2 years ago, the original team took the current project to the next level and introduced the current team to this project. And what you guys might have realized while we were presenting to you is that this current team wasn't here 2 years ago. It was a completely different group of seniors. And what we've done in our school is every year, towards the end of the year, as the year winds down and seniors are leaving, we hand off the project to our underclassmen to continue. And this has worked extremely well for Gulliver in our, continuation of the project. And we have actually made huge advancements because of it. Now I would like to show you a video a local news station did on us.
Local 10 News reporter Mark Jackman shows us.
Clean, drinkable water, something most of us take for granted. But have a look around the globe and you'll notice that clean water is not a right, but a privilege. And not everyone has it. The engineering program at Gulliver Preparatory School has created a water purification system that can be shipped to third world countries in need.
This is what it looked like before it ran through the system. Then as you can see after, it was all clean.
It's a mechanical rotary pump that enables you to take dirty water into a filtration system without the need of external energies.
Not only does this device filter out 99% of bacteria, it all fits inside this box and can be assembled with one screwdriver. The student's next mission is to send a shipment to Samar in the Philippines, a region devastated by Typhoon Haiyan. They will be traveling there in the summer to help install the devices.
So instead of everybody having to go down to the river and getting water, spending all day, some kids skipping school, you go to the clinic, to the local clinic, and there's water right there.
The device costs under $500 and with filter changes can serve hundreds of people for up to 5 years. A great effort done by these students that should make a difference all around the world. In Pinecrest, I'm Mark Jackman, Local 10 News.
Yeah, give a round of applause to the students and their efforts. Thank you. In closure, just a couple of points here. Again, congratulations to every single team for making this happen. We know firsthand how hard it is to do it. But now you have a responsibility. This is not a state championship soccer game where it ends. What I challenge you today, what are you going to do when you leave this summit, regardless to what happens? And my 2 cents, you are sitting with some special coaches, students, that some of you guys will be friends for the rest of your life. And I know for a fact there's students that were here 2 years ago that are together in Berkeley, that are together in Boston, that are together in Washington. You guys are our future. This group right here has something to give back. I thank you for your efforts. I congratulate you. I wish I was here the next couple of days. You guys always blow everybody away. But don't stop here. I challenge you to keep that product going. If you decide to go this route, we'll help with some of those things. But if you decide to keep it protected, for example, a patent. We just got our third patent on this device 3 days ago because we have a responsibility to protect that. And that's a process. So that might be a different route if you want to go that way. This is just one. Thank you so much for your time. Again, thank you, Carrie, and your staff for what you do. I can't, from the bottom of our heart, from Gulliver, you guys are awesome. Thank you and congratulations to all. Wait, I'm sorry. Laura, can we take a quick picture? Carrie, can we take a quick picture before we go? Here. Get them to be dressed like this. It's pretty unusual stuff. They get close together.
Okay, thank you very much for your insightful presentation on behalf of the Conrad Foundation, and I think everyone here will agree we are amazed and extremely proud of what you are accomplishing for the benefit of humanity. We wish you all the very best in your endeavors and as you are moving forward in your development. Now, we're going to release the guests who are attending the teacher training session. Please follow Wendy smile and wave. I don't know if you can see her behind. She's the wizard behind the screen this morning. These teacher training sessions are going to be led by Ann Levine and Chuck Jones, so please follow her to the Silver Moon Cafe. This is a session that is open to teachers and parent educators, administrators, and parents who are really interested in the learning process and better ways to engage their children. So please make yourself welcome and enjoy those sessions, and you'll join us back here at noon for lunch. So let's give a big round of applause to Gulliver, everybody. Come on, give it up. You're going to be doing a lot of clapping in the next couple of days, so practice putting your hands together for each other. Wendy going. Parents, teachers, so parents, teachers, educators, are we all heading towards the back? All right, thank you. Okay, so everyone, we are now ready to begin our C3 morning. Okay, so today we are taking part in the second annual Conrad Creative Collaboration, which is sponsored this year by our very good friends at Battelle. I would like to introduce Regina Schofield, Director of Corporate Engagement and Education Outreach for Battelle. The Honorable Regina Schofield is Director of, like I said, Corporate Engagement, and her portfolio includes furthering innovative efforts to create tomorrow's workforce by leading STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math education initiatives on the East Coast. Her professional career has included key roles in both public and private and non-for-profit services. Please make her feel very welcome here at the Spirit of Innovation Challenge.
Thanks, Carrie. Good morning. Really? It's Sunday morning. Good morning. Ah, that's much better. As Carrie mentioned, my name is Regina Schofield, and I work for Battelle. I'm going to give you a little story about Battelle and ask some questions of you along the way. It was started in 1929 by Gordon Battelle. Gordon Battelle was a metallurgist. Does anybody know? If you know what a metallurgist is, raise your hand. Okay, a few. I'm not pick on Peter, mostly the older of us. You know, it was a new type of engineering back in the 20s, and his father used to play around with metals, the art of discovery, the art of science, the art of theory, hypotheses, and he stumbled upon a combination of metals that really helped the United States compete better in the World War I by fixing some metals on a ship so that we could withstand the ocean and really work around with that technology, and so he got his start that way. So Gordon was really attracted by the work that his father did. How many of us are really inspired by the work that our parents do? Just half? Do I need to give you a lecture on the things that your parents do, whether or not it's about working or in the home? How many of us are inspired by the work that our parents do? Okay, a little bit better. Those of the quarter of you that didn't answer, go to the back of the room and I'll lecture you later on that. So Gordon thought that what his dad did was really cool and that he wanted to go into the same profession, as many of us do, as we're inspired and really, you know, have the art of inquisition in our home with our parents, and they're able to share with us our work. And so he decided that with the money that his father had left him and with the money that he was making, that he wanted to start a charitable trust in the state of Ohio that was going to inspire the learning of science for all mankind forever. Well, unfortunately, his appendix ruptured. How many of you have had an appendectomy? Just one? I haven't either. So, I think it was one of those things that used to happen a lot. My brother, actually, my younger brother almost died from having his appendix burst, but it doesn't happen that much. So while he was in the hospital, he got sepsis. How many of you know what sepsis is? It's a pretty serious disease. It still happens a lot. You go into the hospital for something common, and then your blood has a bad reaction to it, and your blood gets infected, and they just can't sweep it out and give you enough antibiotics to really treat you. And so he died of sepsis from an appendix bursting. So then his mother, Annie Battelle, decided that she was going to try and further Gordon's dream, and so she put all of her money into it, and there Battelle was off and running. And so, as I mentioned, we started off as a charitable trust. It's really a nonprofit in the state of Ohio, but that means that the money that we make is come back into the company so that we invest in internal research and development. We sponsor a lot of fun projects along the way, and one of the funnest projects that we started playing around with in the 50s was Xerox. So we spent about 15 years working with a lawyer that was really tired of hand copying documents from one to the other and transferring. And so he thought that, you know, if he could create a technology that copied all of these documents, that it would save him a lot of time. And it did. So sometime in the 60s, we developed a technology. It had some weird, long technology name, and they ended up calling it xerography. And then Xerox took that and ran off with it, and so therefore we have copier machines and Xerox. Battelle along the way has developed UPC codes. How many of you are familiar with UPC codes? How many of you buy things at the store? When you buy things at the store and it's scanned, that is a UPC code. It's called a Universal Product Code. So those are just a few of the things that we have done in the past. Now what Battelle does is a lot of contract research. So if you come to us with a problem, like the Department of Defense came to us with a problem in the last 15 years and said, hey, you know, how do we get our vehicles to withstand an IED, you know, explosive devices? And so we worked with them to retrofit vehicles that would withstand IED attacks in Iraq and Afghanistan through the war. They come back to us and said, you know, how can you help our soldiers with lighter backpacks that, you know, in the environment that we're in those desert countries, and we need them to be lighter, and we need them to withstand the elements of sand, and so we've done that. Pharmaceutical companies have come to us and said, hey, can you help us create thinner needles and insulin pumps and automatic insulin pumps and those types of things. So a lot of the people that work in Battelle have a lot of fun every day doing the kinds of research projects that you all have taken on as a challenge. A challenge comes to us, we try to turn that into something that the company will want to work with and recreate and mass produce so that it works for the general public, or at least it works for the audience that they're trying to attract. Now my job, I think I have one of the funnest jobs in the company, because as we sell those products and we do that research, 5% of that comes back into a foundation, and I get to work with schools all across the country and to help sponsor and create challenges such as this. And so 85% of the 5% of the profit that we turn, I try to put into concrete science, technology, and engineering math challenges or programs in specific schools across the country. Just in the last few weeks, I've been working with a school in Pueblo, Colorado. We have an office there, and our office manager really wants to create an air monitoring device that would help students learn about math and chemistry. And so I try to get them into the right school and find the right principal and the right teachers to make sure that that's an engaged project. So I have to tell you that I'm very, very excited to work with Nancy. She is furthering Pete Conrad's dream. I am furthering Gordon Battelle's dream, and we are very, very excited that you're all here. And in the spirit of the Innovation Challenge, I challenge you to keep innovating throughout your entire lives. And thanks so much to Peter for being with us today and furthering this challenge. And so we look forward to really seeing what you guys come up with and taking that and inspiring the rest of the world. Thank you again very much.
I love learning new things first thing in the morning, don't you? I mean, the legacy of Battelle is pretty darn inspiring in terms of utility. And that's part of what we want to do here at the Spirit of Innovation Challenges. We're trying to make things that make a change in the lives of others, and that's what each of you have been doing here. I want to give you a quick reminder. As discussed during our orientation last night, we are doing our social media award. So as you are learning and discovering things here during C3 today, take pictures. Hashtag about new ideas you've learned. Who now knows about metallurgy? There's all kinds of things that you can share with our viewing public. So Regina, thank you very, very much for all that you have done in the months leading to this to help make this event a success, which I know it will be because we have some of the smartest children in the entire world here. So thank you very much for making this happen. All right, so let's get this game started, shall we? C3 all the way. Your facilitators today, I'm sure you've met them via the online community and through the emails that they've been sending, but today you are being led by Peter Hahn, Fabian Fernandez-Hahn, and Richard Major. I even practiced it, I'm so sorry. Majamder. Can you introduce yourself when you stand up here so everyone will know how to find you and meet you appropriately? Thank you. So all three of these gentlemen have extensive experience with the Spirit of Innovation Challenge. Fabian is a 2012 Innovation Summit Health and Nutrition category winner. His father, Peter, has coached 2 winning teams. And Richard is our 2013 Cyber Technology and Security finalist and a former C3 participant. So he will bring a wealth of information and experience to today's activity. I invite you to connect with them in our online community following the summit. Or you know what, you all mostly have mobile devices. You could probably find each other in the online community today and join and make friends. It's a really great way to share information with one another and keep those connections going that you'll be building today. So, without further delay, please welcome Peter, Richard, and Fabian.
Good morning, and welcome to the 2014 Conrad Creative Collaboration. My name is Fabian Fernandez-Hahn.
And my name is Richard Mashmudar, and we're both Conrad alumni. So at Conrad and the previous Innovation Summits, we've seen that there's a lot of competitiveness and a lot of intellectuality going around, but there isn't a lot of collaboration. And this is what we want to do. We want to harness this wasted potential and put it towards collaboration.
So our vision here at C3 is to utilize the talent and energy here. Some of the brightest minds from around the world are here, and we want to use that energy and talent to solve a real problem that the world faces today. So we want to thank some people here. We want to thank the Conrad Awards, especially Ms. Nancy Conrad, for her support in our vision. We also want to thank Battelle. So our mission is youth collaborating to solve a real problem. And we are your core team. Mr. Hahn is our mentor. And so today, all of us will work together to solve a real problem as a hackathon. Over the next 12 months, those of you who are interested will continue to implement these ideas in the real world. So last year, we had an entirely different challenge, which was Operation Leopard, which entailed saving villagers in Sumanipata, an Indian village, from leopard attacks. Now this year, we have an entirely different challenge, which is Seed to STEM, which entails raising affinity and capability in STEM subjects. So STEM is science, engineering, science, technology, engineering, and math. And, all right, Richard.
So we split you guys up into 14 different teams, and we'd like you guys to right now get up and go to each of your tables. So each table is numbered off with a Post-it note with 1 through 14, and go to your tables, and if you guys do not know where you're supposed to go, please come to the front and we'll be able to help you guys out. Make sure you hold up the mic. That's one of the weird dropping off. You guys not know where you guys are going? I don't.
Yeah, we weren't on the list yesterday. She told us to come here.
Yeah, she said we'd be able to.
Who are you? Okay. You have not registered, is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
None of you have. She told us, yeah, she just told us to come here.
I don't know.
Okay, okay. Those of you who don't have a team, come over here.
Okay, can you number them off?
Yeah, I'll number it off. Yeah, I've got a matchup, it's no problem.
Okay.
Okay, I'm fine. Make sure your microphone always works. You sound like
What's your name?
From MCS. Okay.
7. Cool.
Thank you.
Hey, pick this up. It's fine. Pick it up. It's fine. Can you do me a favor? Can you go to the back, get all the markers and all that ready? Yeah. I'll just do friendly and try to run out of time.
So you may notice that for every team, there are 2 tables. And on those 2 tables, you will find one sticky note with your team number. So at this point, make sure that you combine the tables so that every team has 2 tables and 2 post-it notes with your team number on there. Once you have done so, please raise your hand if your team has fewer than 5 members. Which team has fewer than 5 members? Okay, you are team 3. So team 3 needs one more team member. Now we have 5. Who else has fewer than 5 team members? Okay, that's great. Thank you.
So we're going to start off with a quick icebreaker to help you guys get to know each other because you guys are all from different teams. What we're going to start off with something is called Friendly Fred. So you're going to start off with your an adjective that describes you and then say your name. And after that, you guys have 5 minutes to create a team flag. So there's a bowel on each one of your guys' desks. So go ahead and there's materials in the back. So once you guys are done with the Friendly Fred, have 5 minutes, come up with a creative name, put your team number on the flag, and we'll see you guys in 5 minutes.
You may have already figured it out. See how 3 was here? Yeah.
Hey guys. So we're not going to make the flags right now. What we're going to do is we're going to make them in a few minutes. What we're going to do first is we're going to move on to our first spontaneous creative challenge. So what a spontaneous creative challenge is, we have these multiple activities to help you guys rejuvenate and get re-energized throughout the day. And if you guys win the challenge, you guys get an advantage, so that's going to help you out throughout the day. You get a prize. So the top 3 teams will win our first game called Castle Keep. So you guys can move around. You guys can turn your tables into whatever you guys want. At this point, can I have one person from every team go to the back to Mr. Han, and he'll give you the supplies for Castle Keep. He's raising his hand. And the rest of you guys should probably listen to the rules. So you guys have 7 minutes to prepare, and then we're going to battle for 8 minutes. And the team with the least number of balls or fireballs on their table will win. Each piece of paper you guys can cut up into 2 fireballs, and you guys can chuck them at each other. You guys can, in the 7 minutes, you guys can talk, do whatever you want, move the chairs, move the tables, whatever you want to do, but you got to protect your fortress. If you guys have any questions, I'll take them right now. Before we start moving everything, can we make sure all the plates and all the cups are on the side, on either one of the side tables, or put in the back, because we don't want anything breaking and anyone to get hurt.
Remember to be very careful with your tape. If it sticks to itself, then you won't be able to use it very well, and it sticks to itself very easily, so be mindful of that.
You guys have 3 minutes left till you have to sit on the ground. 3 minutes left.
All right, we have 60 seconds left. Thirty seconds. All right, the time is up. Stop what you're doing. So now, all right, now sit down on the ground or on a chair. All right, sit down on the ground now and take the fireballs that you've made, and what we're going to do is in a second we're going to start throwing them at opposing tables. And if the ball lands on a table or on a chair, then that counts as a point. So another rule that we have is if a person is hit, then they're also out and they must go to the back of the room.
Can we have everyone on the ground, please? Everyone on the ground. You guys can move around, but then you're at more risk of getting hit. Can you ask them in the back? People in the back, on the ground, please. Sit down. Hey. You start it. Okay. Time starts now. You guys have 1 minute left, but you guys can reuse paper balls that are on the ground. You guys can reuse paper balls that are on the ground. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, guys, you guys are done. Don't hit any more balls, don't throw any more balls, and don't move balls off your table. We're going to keep it. Okay. So don't touch your table. Don't touch the balls. Our mentors are going to walk around, look at the table, and count the number of balls that are on there, and we'll see who's the winner.
Okay, so we're doing some counting. We see some impressive scores already. Which teams had fewer than 4 fireballs land on their table? Wow. How many of you, which tables had fewer than 2? Which teams had 0 land? Wow. So we have 3 tables with 0? Okay, I want those 3 teams, I want you to send one person up to represent your team and explain to us your strategy. So I want 3 people up here now, one from each of those teams, to tell us what you did. Somebody. Aditya, come up. Okay. Pick somebody, come on. Okay, team 2. So if you snooze, you lose. 2 other teams, I want 1 rep to come talk to us about your strategy. Okay, tell us your team name and your strategy.
Oh, we don't have a team name yet, but our strategy was to use one of our tables as a decoy table and the other table as our real table. And so we got all the fireballs on our decoy table, but not our real table.
So, future attorneys, I guess, huh? Decoy. Okay, who else is a representative? Tell us your team strategy.
Okay, so our team strategy was basically to, well, put a chair on the table and put a tablecloth on the chair so all the balls would roll off. And there was one opening, but we made a truce with the team on that opening, so we were fine.
And the third team. Tell us your team number and your strategy.
Okay, we're we're team 14 all the way in the back, so our strategy was to be invisible and not really throw anything at first so no one would notice us. And then once people realized we existed and started throwing things, that's when we went into our offensive strategy. So yeah, our main strategy was be invisible. So yes, stealth.
Okay. Oh, so there are 4 teams with 0? Okay, tell us your strategy.
Well, the rule is you can't get the paper on the tablecloth, so we covered our entire table in napkins. So nothing got on the tablecloth.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. So a variety of techniques to make the full use of the rules that were promulgated. Very clever. Okay, so now that we have had a icebreaker and team builder, next up, could you please help us clean up the fireballs so that we don't create a hazard for each of us, okay? Also, please put back the chairs and the tablecloth. Let's take about 3 minutes to get that done. Stefan? Stefan, James, Madison? Come on up. Okay, so as you're cleaning up the tables and the chairs and the fireballs, so please clean up the fireballs as well. Make sure that we keep this place neat. Can you three join us up here? We have 3 mentors, plus me, to help you for the rest of the day. And notice that there were 4 winning teams. So, each of the 4 winning teams get to have a mentor for the next segment of our day. But first, let me introduce the mentors. This is Stefan. Stefan, tell us a bit about what you're doing right now and what brings you here, and then we'll go down the line.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Stefan, and I am a current NASA intern. A little bit about me, I grew up in Chicago. Anyone from Chicago? Or not? I just graduated from the University of Illinois back in the fall of 2013, and I'm very interested in space medicine. So if any challenges come up regarding human space flight or how the body responds to zero gravity conditions, feel free to contact me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, a lot of you already know who I am. I'm Madison. I am a Conrad alumni. I competed back in 2012 and my team won the Aerospace and Aviation category. I am currently going to Brigham Young University in Utah. As far as subject of study, that's still sort of floating around and we're still trying to determine that, but happy to be here and I hopefully get to mingle with a lot of you today.
Okay, so I'm James. I'm also an intern at the Johnson Space Center. I've actually been at JSC since August last year, so it's a year-long internship. I'm a mechanical engineer, and let's see here. I know a lot about space flight. That's one of my specialties. I do a lot of STEM outreach, and also I collect space artifacts. So any questions related to engineering, especially like design, I'm the guy.
And I'm Peter, the coach of a winning team for 2010 and 2012. So, those 4 teams that won this round of Fireball, please raise your hand. Okay? So, James, Madison, and Stefan, can you, each of you, sit with one of those tables, and I'll sit with team 14. So, you will have the service of one of we mentors for the next segment. And after this next segment, we will be available for another round of competition. So the bottom line is we're going to collaborate, but also there is some sense of competition. Good performance will be extra rewarded. So please, join your respective teams. And I'm with Team 14. Where's Team 14? Okay, I'll be with you in a few moments. How did you get so large back there? How many people do you have? You have 5? Okay, so please join them. Raise your hands again. Pick a table and go. Pick a table and go. And sit with them. Okay, Richard, Fabi, here you go.
Go, Fabi.
So with C3, we aim to raise capability and affinity for STEM. And we target K through 12 grades, and we want to serve the underserved as well as the female population. So why do we want to do this? So the reason we do this is that there are huge problems that the world faces. There's hunger, there's water, there's climate change. There are all sorts of problems that the world faces today. And there are very large opportunities for those who are capable in STEM. So currently, the United States, we feel like we often think of ourselves as the best country or the most capable in some respects. But that's not always the case.
So how good are we really? When it comes to math and science, we're close to, look how many countries are ahead of us. And when it comes to creative problem solving, we're even lower. The US has a lot of room to improve, and this is what we're aiming to do today.
So by 5 p.m. today, we want to have a few solutions. We want to have specifically 3 solutions for which we continue in the next 12 months to actually implement in the real world. So the way we're going to do this, and we have some guidelines today. They're very basic. Work hard, be kind, and play fair. So we start with 14 teams. Right now, there are 14 teams of you. And in today, there's going to be an element of the Survivor show in that over the course of the day, through process of elimination and merging, there will be only 3 teams by 5 o'clock. So there is going to be a competitive nature to today. And so our focus today is, I want to talk about the scope of the solutions, what we want to actually deliver. So the core team has been doing some research. We visited Silicon Valley to visit educators, visit schools and museums. And what we learned was that anything around policy, around legislation, we don't want to focus on. And the reason is that there's a lot of bureaucracy. It takes a lot of time and effort to make any measurable results. So what do we want to focus on? Well, there are games, there are apps, there are messages in the media that we can try to expand in, but we also don't want to do that. The reason is that this also takes a lot of effort and time. We want to have deliverable results in the next 12 months. So what do we want to focus on? We want to focus on conventions, collaborations, and collaborations. So here's some examples of these. You may have heard of some of these before. These are all just examples for which that you can look at. There are a lot of them. These are spaces. So spaces in which people can work together to create things. So seeds to STEM. What should we be thinking about? So we need to think about our audience, who we are serving. We need to think about our solution should be financially sustainable, culturally desirable, and also the last one is technically feasible. So as I said before, we want to have measurable results in 12 months. In addition to that, we need to think about finances. Our solution should cost less than $1,500 in the next 12 months. So how do we start doing this? We first want to start by exploring our environment. So this means looking at our past experiences to see what has worked and what hasn't. Second, we need to empathize with our target audience. What is our target audience experience and what will work for them? Different audiences, different things work for different audiences. Then we create ideas based on these first 2 things. And then lastly, we share with the rest of us what our solutions are. Your solutions should integrate STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. They should be hands-on. So what this means is the math bowl, for example, is an example of something that works well, but because it doesn't have a hands-on an element to it, people are not able to have as much fun with it. And then lastly, we want to have people imagine, play, dare together. So one way to generate ideas is a mashup. Mr. Hung?
It's been said that nothing is truly original, that there's simply mashups of what came before. And so let's take a look at this mashup. You have in front of you a video camera guided missile. Let's add to that a pill. What do you get when you combine them? Anybody? What? Yes, it's called PillCam, made by an entomologist and an Israeli Air Force general. It's a PillCam. And most of you probably are too young to have a colonoscopy. Believe me, it is not fun to have done. Instead of getting a colonoscopy, you can swallow one of these. And as it migrates its way down your alimentary canal, it takes photographs, saving you the undue hardship of a colonoscopy. So this is an example of a mashup. So we're asking you to think about, a few moments ago we said, here's some things to think about. We talk about conventions, talk about fairs. So let's take a look at this. This is some examples of conventions, competitions, and collaborations. Just examples. Think about these and the ones you know. And think about how can you combine these with fairs and festivals, like Maker Faire, like Renaissance Festival. What if you combine these two, or these three, with a space, tech shop, hacker space? So begin thinking about what will happen if you begin, maybe randomly, to match them up. I'll give you some examples, purely hypothetical. Give me an example of what might happen if you mash them up, okay? So let's say we mash up a Renaissance Festival. In Texas here, we have the world's largest Renaissance Festival, just north of the Woodlands. Combine that with a Maker Faire and also a Trebuchet Festival. What do you get? I don't know. But wouldn't it be fun to think about that? How about this? Combine a cosplay festival, you dress up as your favorite costume and your favorite player. Add to that, maybe, oh, who knows what you're going to add? Maybe a Tough Mudder, and maybe add a robotics competition. What do you get? I have no idea, but it might be fun to think about. How about this? Invention Festival, and maybe Tech Shop, and maybe you play video games to raise money. What do you get? Don't know again, but wouldn't it be fun to think about that? How about then in Science Fair? The last one, I don't know, but wouldn't it be fun to think about? So these are examples of mashups. Think of combining what you know and see what you get as a combination.
So here's the timeline for C3. All of us are here together to solve a problem. Over the next 12 months, some of us will continue to implement these ideas in the real world. And then 12 months from now, in April, we'll report our progress, and then we'll start a new challenge. So today we're here at Space Center Houston. Over the next few years, we want to expand to the rest of the United States, and eventually we want to make C3 an international event that happens all over the world.
So solutions. We're starting off in 14 groups, and every few hours we're going to eliminate a few groups. We're going to vote them off, we're going to merge them. However we want to move the groups together, we're going to do that. When you leave one team, or if your team is voted off, you can go ahead and join the team of your choosing. A little bit what I want to talk about is something called the C3 Action Team. So you guys are all finalists. You guys are all in this exclusive group of finalists. But even from that, we want to make sure that in order to be a part of the C3 Action Team, all you have to do is put in a quick application, write 250 words each on why you want to do it, your availability, and your experience. And you can go ahead and join the C3 Action Team or the C3 Core Team in the future.
Okay, so there is a process to today's hackathon. As you can see, we begin right now with 14 teams, but over time, we will reduce that number to find the very best teams, the very best idea. See, every team will have one idea. And so what we're going to do is we're going to first start with 14 teams, and then in just a few moments, you're going to come up with your team's best idea, given the mashup clue we gave to you. And then you're going to vote as a team for one of the other teams. So in the first mechanism to go from 14 teams to 9 teams, you will first come up with your team idea, but then you're going to vote, and you're going to vote for another team or other teams. See, you have to decide as a team which of the other team's ideas you like best, and your team can cast up to 3 votes. You can cast all 3 votes for one other team, or distribute those 3 votes to 3 other teams, but you must vote for another team, not for your own team. We'll also ask you to make a 60-second presentation. Come up on stage. If you want to make a PowerPoint, fine. If you want to have a flip chart and do something with that, fine as well. If you simply want to get up and talk and act out a skit, that's fine too. But you have to produce a 60-second presentation. Also, we're going to ask you to type in your team's idea into a Google document, which we'll share with you in a few moments. That way, anyone with a laptop, a tablet, or a smartphone can read all the 14 teams' summary of their ideas. They give you the best chance to vote for the team's ideas you like best. After 14 teams, we'll get down to 9 teams. Once again, we have a way to reduce 9 teams into 6 teams. It's a bit different, though, because at the 9-team level, to go from 9 teams to 6 teams, we're going to ask you to learn about the other teams and then do one of 2 things. Either merge with another team or make sure your team's idea is more distinct from another team. So this center stage, meet to merge or distinctify, that's going to feel different. That means you have to move around and get to know your other teams and find out if your team's ideas are very similar, either merge with them or make your team's ideas distinctive. We want 6 powerful ideas, not 6 powerful ideas and 2 similar add-ons, okay? So that stage, we hope that we can reduce from 9 to 6 teams by simply having you merge or distinctify. If we can't get it done, then we're going to vote again. And then from the 6 teams to 3 teams, we're going to have a longer presentation. We're going to ask you to make a PowerPoint presentation. Actually, it's in Google Drive. We'll give you a link. So for each team, we're going to have you have a team leader that will access your team's particular Google Drive document and make a presentation in Google Drive. We'll give each of the 6 team leaders the ID and password to allow you to go and edit it. And then everyone can see what your team has produced. So we're going to have you do a presentation in Google Drive and come up on stage. At that point, we're going to have you vote, but as individuals, not as teams. And we'll explain more about how that voting happens. But at the end of the day, we're going to have only 3 teams, 3 mega teams. Remember, no one is going to be without a team. You simply will have to join another team. In bold red here, if your team is voted off, you have a choice of whatever team you want to join. So at the end of the day, each and every one of you will be in one of 3 teams. The last 3 teams will be chosen by voting, but in this particular way. The first 2 of the last 3 teams will be chosen by voting, but the third team, the last remaining team that will be chosen by debate between the 3rd and 4th team voters. So we know this is a bit complex, we'll repeat this, but just know that there is a process we're going to follow for today. So at this point, 14 teams. We are about to have you work in your tables in 14 teams. And please, if you have a tablet, smartphone, or laptop, go on the internet and go to that URL, which allows you to put into your respective team's items row the summary idea you have. Also, get ready to make a 60-second presentation. So that is our next task at hand. So please start now. And you have 30 minutes to get this done. Is there Who is able to get into the internet at this point? Password? Okay, we'll get a password for you. But for now, just talk about the ideas you have as a team. Okay, we have the password and network name. Network name is 0G, 0G, which is the name of this cafeteria. 0G is network to access. And the password is SCH Earth, as in Space Center Houston Earth. So SCH Earth, all lowercase, no spaces, no hyphens. SCH Earth, lowercase, that's a password. So you have 30 minutes to get this done. So work amongst your teams, and yes, if you need power, we have some power outlets. We have, look for orange electrical cords. We have some up here toward the left of the stage as you face the stage. We also have some directly on the back wall. So look for orange electrical outlets. if your screen device needs power. Also, we have some outlets here. So there are several stations where you can go and plug in your device to get charged.
Along the screen flex, there's 2 quad boxes too, with 4 outlets in them.
Wow. We also power over there, where breakfast was served. We have some power boxes over here. Yes, Stefan? The problem statement, sure. Our goal today is to develop solutions to promote affinity for STEM and capability for STEM in K through 12 for the USFA primarily, and in particular for female as well as underserved populations. Underserved meaning usually lower socioeconomic. So our primary focus is to promote STEM affinity and capability. STEM affinity means we would like to get young people to like STEM, aspire to do STEM work, at least learn about STEM. Capability is they can do science, technology, engineering, and math. And if you can address the priority audiences of underrepresented minorities or underrepresented populations and females, even better. So if you are able to get into that URL, you will see that for each of 14 teams, there is a row. So pick one person from your team to be the official scribe and document on that row for your team's summary idea. That way, all of us will be able to see each other's team's ideas. Focus on conventions, conferences, collaborations, competitions, fairs, festivals, spaces. Not apps, not curriculum, not lesson plans. I'll put that slide back, which shows you what not to focus on. Just remind you, we would like you to place your attention on certain types of solutions. It's on the screen. We encourage you to focus on conventions, competitions, collaborations, fairs, festivals, shops, and spaces. We encourage you to not focus on the items on the left-hand column, which we said are going to be beyond the scope of our effort. So please do not bother creating more lesson plans. There are already way too many lesson plans, overwhelming teachers. Also, policy changes are going to take quite a bit of time and political clout, so it's beyond the scope. So focus on the right-hand column solutions: competitions, collaborations, conventions, fairs, festivals, shops, and spaces. You all able to get into Google Drive? Yeah. Okay. I'm a missing mentor. Doing well. I'll go away. Any ideas? I want to know your ideas. Otherwise, you're redundant. Well, I'm redundant. I want to hear your ideas. Imagine, what have you done that you've enjoyed immensely? Maybe take tidbits of things you've done and combine them together. If you want these kids to say, I can hardly wait to go to this thing that Team 14 came up with. I'm dying to go to this thing. For me, I would love to build an exoskeleton and have a robot battle. But that's me. So what do you want? And then think about what other people want. If you have an all-female group, inner city Detroit, what would they like? Then imagine what they will like. What we present here is very unusual. We probably all come from pretty well-to-do neighborhoods, right? Very STEM-focused with family members and STEM related. So we have to go and synthesize what other people want. Maybe parents that don't know about STEM or care about STEM, or then even the third kids going to STEM, who have different things to think about.